Hey friends, and welcome back to this week's Self-Love Masterclass. So good to be with you for another video. And in today's video, I'm going to be answering one of your questions. So a couple of weeks ago on Instagram, someone asked me, I really want to know when I should speak up for myself, like when I should actually go after somebody to really be direct with them, or when I should just kind of let it go, just really temper myself and maybe keep my thoughts, my experiences, or my opinions to myself. And you know what? I've actually received quite a few questions like this, and so I'm going to add on another one. I got another question from someone that said, how do I know when my anger is too much or when I should just let it go? So that's what we're going to be talking about today. Now, for those of you that are new to my channel, my name is Renee Mullings-Lewis. I am a self-love coach among many other things. I've got lots of other titles and designations, but what's important for you to know is that we come here to this YouTube channel to talk about all things related to self-love. It's really about us being on a journey and looking for ways to really have a better relationship with ourselves, because really that is the foundation upon which we attract and manifest and create everything in our lives. We want to be empowered, right? So when do we be quiet and when do we speak up? Well, I say this a lot in my videos. I really don't believe in a one-size-fits-all approach to self-love. First of all, y'all know me, I'm doing a degree in gender, sexuality, and women's studies. So everything has to have an intersectional approach. We're different people from different cultures, different backgrounds, different ages, different identities. We experience different things. And so depending on who we are and where we are and where we are on our self-love journey, we'll then need to assess what is the best thing for us in the moment. The other important thing to note is that just because speaking up is the best thing for you in one situation or in this moment in time doesn't necessarily mean that that is the next best thing for you in a future moment, or that it's what you should have done in the past. Every situation, dynamic, relationship is different. And so it's about learning how to be able to discern and assess for yourself what is best for you based on where you are. Now with that, I am going to give you a couple of things to sort of inquire about or reflect on. All right, so let's say you and I are having a consultation, and this is something that comes up all the time when I'm talking to people. I'm really going to be looking at what kind of a personality you have and what your experience is with your emotions and anger and how you process things. There are some people that I work with who are the kind of people that they would describe themselves as hot and quick to temper. They get angry very quickly. They react a lot. They lose their temper all the time. They often feel like in their relationships with their partners or their loved ones that they're having to say, I'm sorry, maybe I shouldn't have said that or done that. Sometimes they feel like they've made a mistake, or they've even lost people in their life because they were not able to communicate in a way that worked for other people. There are people who honestly feel like sometimes their emotions get the better of them. They don't feel necessarily like they're in control of their emotions in a way that really works for them. I was talking and all of a sudden I got your card is full, so I had to stop. So I'm not sure exactly where this cut, but I'm just gonna try to pick up. So if it looks a little broken up, that's why. Okay, so getting back to what I was saying, if this is the case for you, if you're somebody that feels like you kind of lose control, then the self-love practice for you is going to be to actually slow down, take some deep breaths, and allow yourself to feel your emotions without feeling like you have to go right into that fight response, like you have to be defensive, like you've got to just basically knock down and drag down everything that's in your path. The practice for you is going to be to temper yourself a little bit so that you can really be in charge of your body and what's coming out of your mouth, your behaviors and your actions. This is going to allow you to process your emotions, but also to be able to communicate and create in a way that's going to leave you and the other people in the situation feeling empowered. I mean, if we go deeper into this, the thing for you to really look at is why you feel so triggered or why you feel so upset. You know, a lot of people that I work with, when they experienced moments in their childhood when they felt like they couldn't speak up for themselves, or they feel like, you know, they felt like they were not being listened to or heard, they tend to go a little bit overboard in adulthood, and then they just kind of like rampage and really lose their, you know what. So that's something that, you know, you want to reflect on a little bit more deeply, something that you really, you know, if you're really committed to this, you might want to look into doing one-on-one with someone. Now, the other side of this, sometimes I'm working with people and they're the kind of people that they just hold everything in. They're always as cool and as calm as a cucumber. They're always zen. And that might look really amazing on the outside. Wow, that person looks really grounded and stoic. But it's very possible that they're decaying on the inside. It's possible that they're not speaking up. So you may be somebody that just lets everything go. You just let everything slide. You say that it's not worth your time, or it's just easier to let it go. But what's actually happening for you on the inside or at a subconscious level is you're not able to express yourself. You're not able to be authentic. You're not able to speak in a way where you feel like people listen to you or hear you, or like your voice matters or makes a difference, and that hurts. We want to arrive at a place where we can process our emotions fully, because if we're holding everything inside, that's when we start to see issues come up for us in our health and our well-being. So that's where, you know, a lot of people sometimes manifest things like cancer or fibromyalgia, or very tricky intestinal issues, stomach pains, and many other things that I could like go into. But essentially, very often disease comes from us not being able to process our emotions. It's not just an environmental thing or a genetic thing. I just want to let you know that. So when you look at yourself, you can see these are two ends of the scale. A lot of us fall somewhere in between, but the thing to note is that depending on who we're dealing with, we can play on either sides of the scale, or maybe shut down with some people but not with other people, and maybe become very defensive with some people but not with other people. And that speaks to, you know, the triggerings or other childhood issues, or just things that, you know, it's important for us to work on. So I hope that you've really enjoyed this video and it's given you a little bit of an idea or a place to start on when you should speak up and when you should not speak up. The point here is that self-love is about you being the best version of yourself. It's not about you being muted or silenced, and it's not about you feeling like the way to gain control is to dominate or overpower other people. It's just about you being whole and happy and complete, or even in those moments when you're not happy, being whole and complete about that. It's your journey. You get to decide what is best for you, not me and not anyone else. And I want you to also remember that you are always worthy. So whether this is something you've been working on for just a couple of weeks, or whether learning how to process your emotions has been a lifelong journey for you, I want you to know that you're awesome and you're great, and that you are getting better and better each day. We get tested all the time. I want you to know that. And it doesn't matter how long you've been in the game of transforming your life or being in self-love. Sometimes you're gonna have setbacks. Sometimes it's gonna be more difficult than other times. But continue to build your tools, and I promise you, one day you're gonna be like, wow, look at how far I've come. For some of you, that day is today. For some of you, that day is coming soon. I always get questions on how to work with me directly. All of my information is in the description box below. Just check it out, email me, that sort of thing. What else can I tell you? Find me on Instagram. I'm there almost every day, and I'll have my handle floating around somewhere here. And I guess that's really it, y'all. I just want you to know I appreciate your time, and thank you so much for your likes and your comments and your questions. Doing my best to get back to everyone as quickly as I can. And until we see each other next time in the next video, don't you forget that we are in this together.